Hey everyone, I want to talk all about why you cannot stop ruminating. Rumination is a topic that I am constantly asked about. Can you make more videos on it? I feel like when I'm talking to people, all they're telling me to do is to just stop ruminating. The number one goal of OCD and anxiety recovery is to not ruminate, but I don't understand. I'm trying so hard to not ruminate, but it seems like it's doing the opposite. I'm so hyper fixated on the rumination, which is intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, and urges, kind of swirling around in your head as that cortisol soup, as Rob says. And I'm going to break it down in another video because many people ask for it. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this topic, as I definitely think it's probably the most incorrect topic covered in OCD forums, anxiety forums, different channels. It's really hard to understand rumination unless you've experienced chronic 24/7 nonstop all day for years. It's just there. Every wedding, every vacation, every moment you're at work, when you're walking your dogs in the gym. And if you're interested in our coaching and webinar services where we could teach you how to learn to wear rumination and why the core fear is producing it, please email us at info@ocdrecovery.com and we'll get back to you in a timely fashion. Now, when someone is sick, let's say they have COVID, okay, the virus of COVID, that person will have a bunch of symptoms, okay? Let's say they have a cough. Let's say they have pneumonia. The cough will remain until the virus goes away. Rumination, automatic rumination, 0 to 100 realness, will remain at high levels until our unconditional self-life and other acceptance becomes more substantial, is the correct word. Now, the reason why it's so important to cover this is because what people do, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of information surrounding rumination, is they will try everything they can to have no rumination process in their mind. But this is like going outside in the rainstorm, looking at the air and yelling, "Stop raining!" Maybe it will work, chance of luck, but 99.9% of the time, you're not going to be able to yell at the sky and have it stop raining. Now, as someone who has moved through all the processes of OCD recovery, I've realized that rumination is just not what we thought it was. For a very long time, many people thought rumination was primarily a compulsion. It's not really a compulsion. And the reason why it's not a compulsion is because you have analyzing. Now, analyzing is what people will do is they'll sit in bed and they're trying to figure something out. Well, Nick, how do I know if I'm analyzing versus ruminating? You're not going to be able to know that. The uncertainty, if you notice what we do with OCD recovery, we give people very gray areas because the recovery lies in the gray. OCD and anxiety sufferers are completely obsessed with the line in the sand. Is this the right relationship? Is it not? Is this a compulsion? Is it not? Is this avoidance? Is it not? Should I go to work or should I not go to work? Should I get married? Should I not get married? What's this feeling mean? What's it not mean? When all of these processes lie in the gray unknown through unconditional self-life and other acceptance and breaking down your worst case scenario. So I think there's a major difference between analyzing and rumination. Now, is there a layover? Of course there's a crossover. That drives OCD sufferers nuts. They yell at me. They say, well, what about this? What about that? You're saying it has to be one way. It has to be one way. It doesn't. So when people are telling you that you can bring down rumination on your own regard, which is different than engaging with the thoughts and the images, sensation, urges as they come. But rumination is an experience that's automatic. It's happening because, let's say you're about to go to work for the first time. You've been off for a year and you're feeling really nervous. And you get to work and your mind is just ruminating. Oh my gosh, I'm a failure. What if I make a mistake? I can't handle it. The fear of fear. That process is completely automatic. It's not something you could just say, stop. It doesn't work that way. And it's really sad that we still, as a society, at the OCD recovery, the community in general, we have not come to a common consensus on how rumination actually operates. And I had to take a deduction. And my deduction is quite simple. They're not going to really understand unless they've experienced it. Because what they say is, well, just don't do it. No, that's not how it works. If it worked that simply, I wouldn't be on here making 20 to 50 videos a year on rumination. Because it's a topic that keeps so many people stuck. Let's use a simple example of our OCD, the fear of not being in love and the fear of missing out on a good relationship, not being with the one. Your core fear is the fear of not being in the right relationship, which then brings the subcategories of feeling false attraction, not feeling in love, having no fun during intimacy, being deathly afraid and avoiding weddings and marriages and moving in together. Let's say you're with your partner and you guys are on a dinner date. Maybe you're at a restaurant you love. We're having some Italian food. How you doing? You having some Italian food? You know how it goes. New Jersey and New York has the best Italian food. Let's be real. Not including Italy. We obviously know that. So, ridiculous. And you're on that date, and all of a sudden, you start seeing the waitress walk by. You're a guy, and you're like, oh my God, she's so much more attractive than my wife. Then my wife starts talking, and you're like, oh my God, look at her nose. Oh my God, her eyes are so spaced out. Am I attracted to her? That is very automatic. That will need to be worn. The distraction, the lack of the present moment. This is very clear to me because I've come out the other side of this, so I see how obvious it is that this is what's going on. But when I was stuck for years, I didn't see that. I'm like, I need to stop ruminating with little to no benefit. Now, yes, not engaging with it as much and allowing it to be there, but it's going to be there. Those intrusive thoughts when you least want them to. The images during intimacy, using the same RCD example. The sensations of attraction to anyone else but them. Am I more attracted to his father? Am I more attracted to his best friend? And over and over and over again. That's a process that cannot be brought down until the fear comes down. And if it was, ask yourself a simple common sense question. If you could, bring it down in the regard that most people believe, why are you here? Why are you watching this video? I'll leave you with that. It's very, very important to take charge and ask your own questions and come to your own deductions. The problem with OCD and anxiety recovery is when people show up and they want to learn about rumination in specific, they want me to give them a golden egg. They want a key. They want to know exactly what to do in the situations where rumination is high. But the answer is there is no right or wrong answer. There's nothing that you can do in the moment that's going to push that away. Yes, you can allow it to be there. Yes, you can go about your day completely distracted. The present moment is the genesis of the fear of fear when it comes to rumination. Oh my gosh, I'm ruminating so much. This is so terrible. I'm not going to be present. And I hear this too. You have to work on recovery all day long. Well, that's not true either because that becomes forceful compulsions. We have to learn how to let rumination be present. Many of you heard me use the waterfall analogy, and let's go through it. Waterfalls that flow into waterfalls. And at the bottom of the waterfall, like in a spa, there's a little tube. It sucks the water back up and it just recycles. Top waterfall, Genesis, core fear. Fear of death, fear of not being in love. Fear of being stuck forever. Fear of going backwards. Fear of losing a parent. That goes down to the second category. Intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges that are coming in with a realness that you are convinced that you are the one that's going to be isolated. You're the one that's never going to recover. You're the one that can't get any better. And that goes down. Hey, get off my thing. Milo's putting his paw on the light fixture, which he likes to do. That goes down to the 0 to 100 realness, like I said. Core fear, intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges goes down to realness so convincing that flows down to a compulsion avoidance behavior, venting, reassurance, water seeps back up, cycle restarts again. That first part, that intrusive images, sensation, urges, thoughts, any place, anytime, that's an automatic process. That's the cough of being sick. That's exactly what that is. Maybe you're trying to stop, maybe you're struggling with alcoholism and drug addiction. Many people who have that with OCD. The symptoms that you feel through withdrawal, can you stop those? Can you look in the mirror and say, stop the withdrawal symptoms? What are you doing? No, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement. It's comical to an OCD and anxiety sufferer. A lot of people forget that when you're working with an OCD and anxiety sufferer, if you're watching this and you help people, we're not dumb in the sense of we get it. When you say to us, just stop ruminating, we're like, no, this is silly. We know this doesn't work, but then we feel hopeless because we hear many people say it. And we're like, am I doing something wrong? It's automatic, very automatic. It's a symptom of the core fear. It's something you want to lean into. And that leads me into the last section. What do I do about rumination? Yes, again, there's a part where you're engaging. Learning how to disengage, not avoid, and not trying to not notice or ignore. You'll never hear us use the word ignore, not notice, anything. It's about noticing it, let's doing its thing. The willingness to experience all intrusive thoughts, images, sensation, urges for as long as they have to be there. Allowing that to be there and breaking down the core fear. For me, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being overweight, the fear of not having muscle, the fear of not getting girls, the fear of not being smart, the fear of not being the top of my class, a lot of fear of rejection, and the fear of being stuck with sensory motor for the rest of my life. That was huge. And a lot of fear of being tired, a lot of fear of not getting things accomplished. Breaking all of those down one by one. You know, you don't have to have it all figured out today. That's what brought the rumination down. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This is a tremendous video. I'll turn the camera on Milo after this. Wait till you see this sucker over here. He's pathetic. And again, if you're interested in our coaching and webinar services, please email us at info@ocrecovery.com. I have to... Who's that? Look up. Up here. He's like, what's going on? Oh, shit. Let's go see Daisy. So Daisy's hurt right now, unfortunately. Milo body slammed her into a wall. And she hasn't been able to walk for a week. We have to take her to the vet. It's always a fun time. Let's go see what she's doing. She's over here somewhere, just hanging out. Most people love. Oh, boy. Look at you over here. You got, how's your paw? Oh, gosh, I hear him. This is what he does. He can't stand not being included. He has a massive fear of rejection. Massive. You have a big fear of rejection, don't you? Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Look at that little tail go. Daisy's like, please leave me alone. I'm sleeping. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's always, you know, laughter. I can't tell you how important laughter has been for my recovery journey. It's been amazing. Always a pleasure. See you on the next one. Have a good one, everyone.